Tonight, looking for leads in a downtown Kitchener shooting.
There could be just one little piece in there that changes the case for us.
The appeal about a weekend gun incident that left a man in critical condition. Tracking the trackers.
We're trying to put together the pieces to find out if this is a malicious intent or if it's honestly somebody just forgetting it.
Why regional police are talking about the devices that can be helpful and harmful. Plus, serving up a friendly competition.
You just have to channel what you do every weekend.
Uptown Waterloo servers showcasing their balancing acts in the name of a good cause. Good evening. A man is fighting for his life tonight after a shooting in downtown Kitchener. It happened early on Sunday morning, leaving the victim in critical condition. Let's go live now to CTV's Jeff Pickle, who joins us with more on this. Jeff, you spoke with investigators today. What do they have to say?
Well, Tony, the Waterloo Regional Police Major Crimes Unit is investigating. Police say they are limited in what they can release right now, but tell us witnesses and any video evidence will be crucial to catching those responsible for the shooting.
It was a little after 2 a.m. Sunday morning when police were called for reports of gunfire. It happened at Goody's Lane and Queen Street in downtown Kitchener. Police say a 21-year-old man was found with a single gunshot wound and taken to hospital with serious injuries. The victim was then transferred to an out-of-region hospital and remains in critical condition.
The major crime investigators are out canvassing the area. They're looking for video evidence, any other type of evidence that anyone may have.
Detectives and forensics were still on scene after the sun came up Sunday morning. Police have released very little information, but tell us they believe the attack was targeted.
Initial investigative information does suggest this is a targeted incident. It's not random, and our investigators are certainly doing their best to bring this to a successful conclusion.
To find those responsible, police say they need help from the community.
The biggest and most important piece for us to be able to solve any type of incident like this is really, it comes down to videos. We appeal to the public every time. We solve these incidents through witnesses, through video, businesses, cell phones, dash cam, anything that anyone may have.
Police say there is no detail too small to send to police.
Even if you think it's not relevant at the time, but it possibly could be, we still want to see it. It's very important to us, and there could be just one little piece in there that changes the case for us.
And Superintendent Morris says they hope to release more information to the public soon, adding anyone with video from the area between 1:30 and 2:15 Sunday morning could help with the investigation. Tony?
Okay, Jeff, thank you. CTV's Jeff Pickle joining us live with that report. And a new warning from regional police tonight about trackers. The devices are used to help find things like keys, wallets, even pets, but they can also be used by criminals. And police say lately they've had some reports about people discovering unknown devices. Here's CTV's Alexandra Hollick.
Whether they're attached to your keys or stored in your suitcase, smart trackers are designed to find your belongings in seconds. But in the wrong hands, they can be used for something far more sinister.
As a stalking device, by putting it in someone's purse or in their jacket or in a vehicle, and then tracking the motions of that individual.
The device is easy to get and doesn't cost much, but police warn it could put someone's privacy and safety at risk.
We could see it in criminal harassment cases where perhaps intimate partner violence may be an issue, or any type of person-on-person crime. It could be used in a situation where maybe a vehicle is being tracked to see when it's being unoccupied as an opportunity.
This is one example of just how small these smart tracking devices can be, and drivers are urged to check their vehicles for unknown tags regularly. This tracker could be found in here, behind here, in here, or under here.
When people are putting these things into a vehicle, they're not there for a long amount of time. They kind of want to be in and out quickly. So that's why it's anywhere that's quick accessible, but also hidden at the same time.
Sometimes your phone will notify you if an unknown tracker is nearby. As for where you can be tracked,
geography doesn't really matter. That tag is wherever it is, if it's placed on you, it can essentially follow you around the world.
If you do come across a tag, don't panic and don't touch it.
Pull over somewhere safe, somewhere well lit, somewhere where there's lots of people, and notify the police.
There could be information on there, or depending on where it was located, it helps the investigation.
A smart solution to try and stop bad actors in their tracks. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
An arrest in Kitchener this morning is being linked to a recent string of thefts and robberies from online marketplace deals. There were several cruisers and officers with rifles along Shanley Street this morning. Police recovered a vehicle they believe is connected to several incidents, and they took a man into custody. Police aren't releasing any further details, but they say the investigation's ongoing. The number of e-scooter collisions in Waterloo Region so far this year is already on pace to surpass last year's entire total. Regional police say so far this year there have been 22 collisions, compared with 28 in all of last year. 3 of this year's collisions resulted in major injuries, compared to 1 for all of last year. And over the last 12 months, a total of 40 injuries have been reported from collisions involving the devices. An 86-year-old man is dead after being struck by a pickup truck in a parking lot in Stratford. It happened just after 11 yesterday morning at the Stratford Mall on Ontario Street. Police say the truck hit the pedestrian near the Sport Check entrance. The Stratford Fire Department helped free the person from under the truck. The victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died. The driver, a 38-year-old from St. Catharines, was not injured. Okay, time for a first look at the weather now. We head over to Ashley Bacon in studio on this Monday evening as we continue the summer of no crazy humidity. I like this. The conditions have been very enjoyable the last few weeks.
It's been beautiful. But first of all, welcome back,
Thank
Tony.
you.
So great to see you. And yes, it has been absolutely perfect weather this summer so far. We did have a little bit of heat when we started in June and then early July, but overall conditions really plateauing around that mid-20 range. Of course, we've had a little precipitation here and there, but overall it has been pretty perfect. And as we turn our attention to the radar behind me, you can see not a lot of activity happening in southwestern Ontario this hour. We're not seeing much other than a few clouds here and there in Waterloo Region. And the great news is it's still nice and warm out there. 24 degrees, a west by northwest wind of 15 kilometers an hour. And that is very comparable to all of southwestern Ontario right now, right around that mid-20s range, Tony, which I know is perfect for you. And as you said it, not a lot of humidity. And the good news is tomorrow is shaping up to be much the same. All of those details coming up.
Okay, we'll see you soon for that. Thank you, Ash. The discovery of what are believed to be human remains had investigators back at a Scarborough Industrial Plaza today. The disturbing discovery was made last night, but tonight police are not saying much about the find. Police say if this is determined to be criminal in nature or deemed to be a homicide, more information will be provided. Paramedics have confirmed they attended the scene but would only say they did not transport anyone to the hospital. Police in Peel Region have arrested 3 adults and 2 teens in connection with a double murder back in April. The shooting happened outside a school in Brampton. Investigators believe 2 groups shot at each other. CTV's Mike Walker has the latest.
Gunfire erupted outside a Brampton school late at night in early April, resulting in a double homicide that claimed the lives of a man in his 20s and a youth.
Through our investigation, we've identified 2 separate groups that were involved in this incident, with 1 deceased representing an individual from each group.
At an update today, Peel Regional Police announcing they have arrested and charged 5 suspects, including 21-year-old Janoy Bell, seen here on the left, who was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. 23-year-old Jaden Chrisma is charged with possession of firearm for the purpose of trafficking, and 25-year-old Mikhaim Aarons is charged with conspiracy to commit indictable offense. Homicide investigators have also charged 2 teens, 16 and 17 years old. They cannot be identified and are each facing 2 counts of first-degree murder.
Like a 16 and 17-year-old involved in, let's be honest, the most serious offense in the criminal code, murder and firearms being located, that is extremely concerning.
It was back on April 3rd police responded to the shooting on the grounds of St. Joachim Elementary School near Rutherford and Kennedy Roads just before 10:30 at night. It was there officers found a man suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. A short distance away, they found a boy with a gunshot wound. Both victims died as a result of their injuries. As for a possible motive,
we don't believe there was an altercation. We believe there was an aspect of criminality which brought these two groups together. Unfortunately, I will not comment on what the act of criminality was.
Police also revealing they have recovered 5 firearms in connection with this double murder, including 3 at the scene, 1 a short distance away, and another while executing a search warrant at a Brampton home.
This also represents the 8th murder in the Region Appeal for this year in which a firearm was used.
Investigators are not releasing the victims' identities at the request of their families. At this point, they believe all suspects have been arrested, but say the investigation is still active and it's possible more suspects could be identified. Mike Walker, CTV News, Mississauga.
The search continues in a wooded area near Kawartha Lakes for a missing pilot whose damaged plane was found late last night. The 73-year-old took off on Friday and never returned. CTV's John Musselman has more on the search.
Debris from the missing plane was discovered this morning in Queen Elizabeth II Wildlands Provincial Park, located about 45 minutes north of Balsam Lake. Registration numbers on the debris have been matched to the missing plane. The pilot, 73-year-old David Douglas, remains missing. Durham Regional Police say he took off from the Oshawa Airport around 8:30 Friday morning, heading north toward Kawartha Lakes. Douglas was flying a small blue and yellow single-seat home-built plane. The Joint Rescue Coordination Center in Trenton began the search over the weekend. This morning, the wreckage from the plane was observed in Wolf Lake, which is located inside the provincial park. A family spokesperson told CTV News today the family is, quote, grateful to the community for helping in this search. They went on to say that flying has been a passion for David. Douglas is the father of 2 grown sons. He is described as an experienced pilot.
That report from CTV's John Musselman tonight. And the investigation continues into a weekend fire that caused serious damage to a longtime adult entertainment club in Toronto. Fire crews were called to the Zanzibar Tavern on Yonge Street just after 6 a.m. yesterday. They doused the building from the inside as well as on the roof. The fire chief, Jim Jessup, says the building has significant damage. The department says so far there's been nothing to indicate that the fire was deliberately set. Beginning today, Ontario is requiring cash deposits for people who are granted bail. CTV's John Woodward tells us more about those changes.
He's already out there. That's not going to be a problem.
Last year, the self-styled cocaine lawyer Deepak Paradkar was arrested on allegations he acted as a fixer for former Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedding. He's fighting extradition to the U.S., and a Superior Court justice allowed him released on the strength of a pledge that if he fled, he, his wife, and wife's cousin would have to pay up to $5.25 million, one of the largest bail amounts in Canadian history. Ontario's new rules might have meant Paradkar would stay behind bars for a while longer, requiring not just a pledge, but the $5 million in cash up front. The government says this makes consequences of a breach immediate. Right now, the government has to pursue the debt.
People deserve to feel safe in their homes, at work, and in their daily lives. They deserve to know that when someone is released on bail, the conditions attached to that release are taken seriously.
The new rules take effect Monday, applying to bail amounts big and small, and that's where critics say the law is a violation of Canada's Charter of Rights because it treats people differently depending on their income.
It's creating a two-tiered system. If you have money, you can get out of jail. If you don't, you're stuck.
Other concerns: it could add more people to Ontario's overcrowded jails and create court paperwork for every bail case instead of just those who breach.
This is, again, solving a problem that doesn't exist and just going to create absolute administrative havoc.
Upfront cash bail is the law in many American jurisdictions, and not worth following here, say those who are readying that charter challenge.
The law changes what has been the status quo for about over 50 years, where cash bail is very much the exception and not the rule.
Ontario's government in the midst of a $3 billion jail expansion to provide 2,500 more jail beds. Critics don't want those beds occupied by people who just can't afford to leave. John Woodward, CTV News, Toronto.
Ontario's big city mayors are calling on the province to address what they describe as a humanitarian crisis when it comes to homelessness and addiction. As CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris tells us, they want billions of dollars in funding for treatment.
There are human tragedies playing out every day on sidewalks and in parks across the province.
We can't continue to walk around or step over. We have to solve this.
Ontario's big city mayors pleading for help, urging the provincial government to declare a state of emergency to tackle homelessness and addictions, dual crises putting a strain on cities and towns. While Queen's Park has put up $500 million for treatment hubs, it's only a drop in the ocean of what mayors say is required.
We are funding $4 billion on an issue that properly sits with provincial and federal governments to fund. We're doing that out of the property tax base. It's simply not sustainable.
Big city mayors want the Ford government to consider forcing drug treatment on people without their consent, asking for a panel that might include mental health experts and lawyers.
We need to do this in a thoughtful way with appropriate people and safeguards that protect people's human rights, that work to get people the care that they need.
Toronto's top mayoral challenger doesn't want to wait.
The time for study is over. People have waited long enough. People are dying on our streets now, and we need to course correct.
The current mayor batting away the question of mandatory treatment.
Well, let's make sure there's treatment first. The provincial government owns the city about $20 million.
To cover supportive housing, a gap mental health advocates say needs to be filled.
We don't have enough support for what I call voluntary treatment, individuals who are stepping forward and saying, I really want to reclaim my life.
Ontario's NDP not staking out a firm position for now.
What is required here is both a plan based on evidence and based on empathy.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Start your morning with the latest from our team in the CTV Kitchener newsletter. The best local content from CTV News right to your inbox. A look at the day's top stories, the latest forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up over on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Still ahead, it's a routine shot designed to protect newborns from internal bleeding. Why more parents are choosing to skip the injection, and the concern that doctors are raising about that choice, coming up.
Clear conditions expected to continue into tomorrow, but more rain could be on the way. Those details with your full forecast coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Canadian doctors are raising concerns about the number of parents who are refusing vitamin K injections for newborns. It's something doctors recommend to prevent a blood clotting deficiency. However, as CTV's Heather Wright reports, some parents think their kids are better off without it.
Do you believe that babies have a vitamin K deficiency?
Slick videos like this one are all over the internet explaining to parents the alleged risks associated with the vitamin K shot.
This is interference with long-term consequences they never talk about.
Doctors say this type of misinformation is leading to an increase in parents refusing the shot, which is given to babies right after birth to help with blood clotting.
The incidence seems to be increasing, which is why there's concerns.
Dr. Eugene Ng is a neonatologist at Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto and says because babies are born with a vitamin K deficiency, a shot of the nutrient is given to prevent a rare but potentially life-threatening condition known as vitamin K deficiency bleeding, which can lead to brain bleeds and long-term brain damage.
Late vitamin K deficiency bleeding is associated with a 3 times higher risk of intracranial hemorrhages, meaning that it's bleeding into the brain. And bleeding into the brain is a severe complication.
Those opposed to the vitamin K shot list a host of reasons why, including concerns about ingredients, preservatives, and debunked links to leukemia.
This is a well-established, much-needed, very routine
a biomedical procedure.
Timothy Caulfield is a professor at the University of Alberta and says parents who refuse the vitamin K shot are also less likely to vaccinate their children. He says both are examples of the power of health misinformation.
That sort of personal, urgent message from an influencer that you might relate to can be more persuasive than the authoritative voice that's expressing what the science actually says.
It's hard to know just how many Canadian parents are declining this shot, but a new study from Sweden found from 2006 to 2021, the refusal rate more than doubled. Doctors say there is an oral alternative for any parents who are hesitant to give their babies a shot. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A new study out of London Health Sciences Centre is pointing to a potential shift in how doctors treat cancer. Researchers found that expanded genetic testing can identify treatment options that might otherwise be missed. CTV's Rita Ismail explains.
Researchers at London Health Sciences Centre followed more than 500 patients with a wide range of cancers. Their tumors underwent expanded genetic testing, looking at hundreds of cancer-related genes at once. The result, nearly 1 in 3 patients became eligible for a treatment option that may not have otherwise been available.
2 patients with the same cancer type don't actually have the same cancer, and currently they may receive the exact same therapy. By being able to point to specific mutations that can be targeted by targeted therapies, not only is it going to improve that patient journey, but will allocate the resource for treatment of these patients by our government in a more appropriate way.
The testing found a clinically relevant genetic change in 79% of patients, meaning there was a mutation that could potentially be targeted with a specific therapy.
This machine prepares the DNA.
The study also opened doors to treatment options that had previously been unavailable, including clinical trials, off-label therapies, and compassionate access programs.
We had patients of all different disease types, and they were all looking for hope, looking for additional therapeutic options. And we're in an age now of personalized medicine or precision medicine. We're trying to find unique characteristics of the cancer that we could target with specific drugs.
The study, which was conducted in a real-world Canadian setting, helped identify effective treatments earlier, potentially reducing the need for more costly cancer drugs later on. And in some cases, the order of treatments was changed to help patients receive the most appropriate therapy at the right time. The research team is continuing to track patients to better understand the long-term impact of expanded genetic testing. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
All right, a live look outside now on a beautiful Monday evening at the Grand River in Galt and the Park Hill Dam. Nice sunny conditions out there, a little bit breezy as well, and comfortable temperatures. Ashley's back to let us know what the rest of the weekend weather is looking like in just a few minutes. Also coming up, breeding beans at the University of Guelph with the help of artificial intelligence. How smart agriculture is playing a pivotal role in navigating a difficult growing season. Plus, time ticking once again on the tariff clock, the latest on where trade talks stand between Canada and the U.S. as yet another deadline looms. All right, Ashley's back with our forecast for the week ahead. Here we are in the last half of August.
Goodness, can you believe it?
What is going on?
Starting to plan back to school stuff.
Oh my
Many
gosh.
folks at home wrapping up their summer holidays.
I left here, it was July 30th, and it feels like we've advanced like 3 months.
He's bragging a little bit about having all this time off.
No, I'm back. Physically, I'm back anyway.
It is so good to have you back, Tony.
Thank you.
And I mean, it has been a beautiful summer temperature-wise, conditions-wise. I don't think there'd be too many folks out there complaining because it hasn't even been that hot, really.
And I was saying, you know, I was away. I spent some time in Muskoka over my vacation. Typically, the week that we're in Muskoka, we always get these crazy, humid, hot conditions. But this time it was so perfect, and it was breezy,
Yes.
which kept the mosquitoes away at night so we could sit outside. I gotta say, Ash, you have delivered over the last 2 weeks.
Well, I will take full credit for happy customers, so thank you,
Yeah,
Tony.
lots
and
of them.
We take a look from Park Hill Road Bridge in Cambridge. Check that out, Tony. What a night to be out there. Dan Lochner, our camera operator, bringing us this beautiful shot this evening, and what a place to be. I mean, it is a gorgeous evening once again out there. Temperatures perfect for a walk, maybe evening out on your patios at home, or maybe a local restaurant to have some dinner. It is absolutely gorgeous. And as we turn our attention to our future cast, you can see we're going to continue to see clear skies over the next few hours into your Tuesday as well. Tuesday shaping up to be just as sunny and beautiful. We might start to see a few bits of cloud cover rolling in through the afternoon and evening hours. It does look like we'll get some rain through the overnight hours into your Wednesday, but hopefully by afternoon on Wednesday, things will have started to dry it up. Right now across the west coast, a beautiful day. Whitehorse up north, 21 degrees with sunshine. Prince George, 24. On the other side of the Rockies for Alberta, really nice, 23 degrees. Fort McMurray, Edmonton, and Calgary this hour, all seeing a bit of sunshine as well. Through the Prairie provinces, 20 in Saskatoon, 22 in Winnipeg. And as we move towards Ontario and Quebec, we are seeing even warmer temperatures and even more sunshine. Montreal, 25 with nothing but sunshine. Thunder Bay, Sudbury, 24. Same with Quebec City. On the East Coast, a beautiful afternoon as well in St. John's and Corner Brook, 17 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Now, here in Waterloo region, we're still sitting at 24 degrees, so very, very comfortable conditions out there. Not a lot of humidity. Overnight, perfect for sleeping. 12 degrees, the expected low. Now, we could see some fog patches developing around midnight, so if you're on the roads through the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning, make sure to be safe out there. Keep those headlights on and give yourself plenty of space. 26 degrees is the expected daytime high tomorrow, so it's going to be a lovely day. Humidex values feeling around 31 at times, and we could see an afternoon wind pickup, a southwest wind with gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers an hour. So that is looking like it will happen through the afternoon hours. As a reminder, what we should be this time of year, 25 as a normal, 13 as our overnight low. We are sitting right where we should be, nowhere near record breaking. That was set back in 1950 at 33.3 degrees. And here's your first look at your 7-day forecast for Waterloo region. As I mentioned, we'll see a potential for showers on Wednesday. It does look at this stage, most of that will happen before most of us wake up on Wednesday and through Wednesday morning. 24, the expected daytime high. Sunny conditions to finish off the rest of the work week. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, mainly sunny for your day tomorrow, 27. A chance for showers on Wednesday and 25. And then once again, sunny conditions for your Thursday and Friday, a high of 26 and 27 there. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, a beautiful day ahead for your Tuesday, 26. Mainly sunny conditions, a slight chance for showers on Wednesday and 23. And then sun makes a return by Thursday and 24. So it's going to be another beautiful week, it looks like, Tony. Okay, let's look at today's Weather Watcher picture, or video, I should say, sent in from Janet of her sunflower tree swaying in the wind. And I think, you know, that's just remnant of how I think all of us feel sitting out in a backyard in this beautiful weather, just taking in our gorgeous scenery. Great job growing such a beautiful tree there.
Well, and you know what? Janet's contribution makes me think of something. I love the idea of Weather Watcher videos from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a chance to take a 20-second video, a 20-second video, and send that in. I mean, we have so many great photographers out there, but a video here and there is always a nice treat.
Gives it a little new depth. Yeah. Thank you to Janet for that. Okay, thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Tony.
Researchers at the University of Guelph have sprouted what they are calling a super bean that can withstand harsher conditions. And they're doing it with the help of artificial intelligence. CTV's Karis Map has more.
You will see the differences. And that's the magic of the AI.
Artificial intelligence is helping bean breeders from the University of Guelph harvest a high-end legume.
I call it super beans because I think we are at some point that we can get the best juice out of the data with the help of using AI.
Advanced technology developed by the team at the Ontario Agricultural College speeds up the selection process when crossbreeding seeds.
We are the first breeding program that we are using hybrid AI.
Taking 40 years of archived program data, combining it with published academic papers, and putting it all in one place. That's how Bean GPT was formed.
It's about taking the enormous amount of data that we have through genomic analysis and then making decisions about what varieties to start crossing to achieve what outcome.
I think it's important that we're using the technology that we have for things that will help people in the future.
Thousands of beans, including the AI-influenced ones, were on display at the college's Elora growing facility for the public to enjoy.
Industry partners, governments, farmers, growers, students, all the researchers just coming and see what we are doing as a plant breeder and computational biologist here at the university.
It hasn't exactly been an easy growing season. From severe thunderstorms to swings in extreme heat and even wildfire smoke, all of which can impact how these beans grow.
AI told us that this one is better because it can, better actually tolerate to different climate variables and variations.
Once they're ready to hit the market, the super beans could revolutionize the growing business.
Every dollar invested in research translates into about $40 of commercial value for a farmer. And so, for the sector, this is a really impactful number.
Kara Smapp, CTV News. Hello.
Still ahead on CTV News, it's like the Olympics for Waterloo Region servers. Heather Senerin breaks down the action from an annual charity tray race coming up in just a few minutes.
This is your CTV Kitchener, our community calendar. Airshow London takes to the skies August 21st to 23rd. Experience the unforgettable sights and sounds of everything from world-class aerial acts to some of the most advanced military jets. We'll see you next time on Our Community.
We are now less than 48 hours from threatened new U.S. tariffs hitting more Canadian goods. Today, Prime Minister Carney said he will be talking with President Trump before Wednesday's deadline to reach a deal to avoid it. CTV's Mike LeCouture is in Washington with more.
Trade talks went to a whole new level and a new location today as both Canadian and American representatives met here at the Department of Commerce.
How are talks going with Canada?
Both sides said little as they arrived for what turned out to be a meeting that lasted an hour and 45 minutes. That's the longest the two sides have sat together in recent days, reflecting the, quote, delicate and intense nature of the negotiations, as described by Prime Minister Mark Carney earlier today. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick was also at the meeting. Given the prominent role in directing the president's protectionist policy, it's perhaps a signal that the two sides are preparing to present both the president, Donald Trump, and Prime Minister Mark Carney with the layout of a possible deal. As we had reported last week, the hope was to put something on Trump's desk either today or tomorrow.
We're going to continue working. Our job is not yet done.
Now, earlier in the day, Carney said he and Trump will be having a call to discuss the looming tariff deadline.
We'll have opportunities over the next 48 hours to discuss in more detail as the negotiations go forward, and I think that's the best forum.
There is a sense of urgency as well. We're less than 48 hours from 50% tariffs being applied to a wide swath of Canadian imports into the United States. It's something that the Canadian Chamber of Commerce said would be devastating for small and medium-sized businesses. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Washington.
The latest inflation numbers suggest prices at Canadian supermarkets are still rising, but at a slower pace. With more on the data and how far your dollar will go right now, here's CTV's Paul Hollingsworth.
When shoppers go to the grocery store, based on the vibe, it feels like, at best, food prices are staying the same.
Or going up, but not going down.
According to Stats Canada, food inflation dropped to 3.1% in July, down from 3.9% the previous month. Analysts say it's good news, but not great news.
We're still seeing pressure on grocery prices on food.
The high cost of food continues to contribute to an ongoing affordability crisis.
The inflation pressures on households, is still problematic for many households in Canada.
Chicken and fresh vegetables saw a slower rise in price. Cereal products are slightly cheaper. Fresh fruit, most notably berries and melons, are now more expensive.
I feel for a lot of people, families in particular, and people on fixed incomes.
We decided to go shopping, grabbing numerous grocery items, including cereal, pasta, bananas, seafood, chicken, and berries. Total price, $99.67. Barely enough to fill 2 small grocery bags. This shopper is getting creative to save money.
Try to buy in bulk, try to freeze things, do a lot of freezing, doing a lot of Googling of what can be frozen. For how long?
Many shoppers tell us they are resigned to paying a lot for groceries, and when prices go down a bit, it doesn't even get noticed. It has forced them to shop around for better deals, be selective, and only buy the essential items they need. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
All right, time to update our top stories now. CTV's Leanne Evans in studio with us. And Leanne, we continue to track the investigation into a shooting in downtown Kitchener over the weekend. A 21-year-old was left in critical condition.
It happened early Sunday morning, Tony, around 2:10 a.m. in the area of Gowdy's Lane and Queen Street. The man was found with a single gunshot wound and taken to hospital before being transported to an out-of-region hospital. Police believe the incident was targeted and are asking anyone who was in the area at the time to get in touch. Smart trackers can be a convenient way to keep tabs on your belongings, but police say they can also put your privacy and safety at risk. Regional police are warning residents about the dangers of the devices after receiving reports of people finding unknown trackers in their vehicles and personal belongings. If you do happen to find a tag, don't try to remove it. Instead, call police.
Okay, and on our website, Leanne, a special assignment for you and Ashley Bacon today at the Food Bank of Waterloo Region, and our digital team has more on what that was all about.
Yeah, we got plenty of ideas for nutritious snacks and lunches as kids head back to school. We also got an update on the demand for food assistance here in Waterloo Region. You can watch the full video by going to our website, scanning the QR code, downloading the CTV News app, or as always, CTV News Kitchener. They did have their registered dietitian on hand as well, Tony, to help us out with some delicious snack and lunch options. So some good ideas there.
And I mean, not that we want to push ourselves any closer to Labor Day weekend now, but you got to start getting back into meal prep mode again soon.
Yeah, and the ideas, not just for kids, they were good for adults too.
Perfect. Love it. News we can all use. Okay, thanks, Leanne.
Thanks.
Local servers took the hustle of a busy lunch rush out of the restaurant and onto the pavement today for the annual tray race. It's a fun and messy competition that benefits a different charity every year. CTV's Heather Senerin reports from Uptown Waterloo on the spills, the skills, and the very friendly rivalry.
This is close. Ready, set, serve. Teams went head-to-head trying to balance 5 open water bottles on a tray from one end to the next.
It sounds simple, but it can be kind of complicated when you drop a lot of water and make a lot of mess.
While some seem to speed through the course easily,
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Others got off on the wrong foot. The handoff to your teammate can be the hardest part.
By the time I got the tray, it was full of water, so that was a little tricky.
Some learning slow and steady wins the race.
You just have to channel what you do every weekend, and it's vibes. I liked it. It was fun.
It's a tradition that's been going on for about 25 years. It started with just a few teams, and this year there's 23.
The teams are made up of servers from Waterloo Region and surrounding areas, meaning Ethel's Lounge was bustling with supporters for the event.
It's a camaraderie thing and hanging out with other people in the industry, raising money, having fun, make their boss buy them some drinks.
And it's all for a good cause.
We have the food bank, the Waterloo Region Food Bank, as a sponsor that we're going to get donations for and try and help out. We switch it up every year.
Each bar or restaurant raising money in their own way before the competition.
We only knew that we were coming here about 3 days ago, but our regulars are really awesome, and they were giving us handouts.
This year, they raised about $18,000, which will provide 36,000 meals for families in need. Proving that the hospitality industry in Waterloo Region really knows how to deliver, even under pressure. Heather Senerin, CTV News, Waterloo.
Later on CTV News, who says you have to go to the coffee shop for your coffee? CTV's Hannah Schmidt has more on a local business that is bringing the brew to you. Stay with us. The entertainment world is mourning the death of Hayden Panettiere, best known for her roles in Heroes and Nashville. Panettiere's father announced her death in a statement last night, but did not reveal a cause. She began her career in 1996 with roles in A Bug's Life and Remember the Titans. She rose to prominence with her role as a cheerleader, Claire Bennett, in Heroes. In recent years, Panettiere was open about her struggles with substance abuse and postpartum depression. She was 36 years old. Nearly 30 years after the death of hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur, opening arguments began today in his murder trial.
Dwayne Davis did not pull the trigger. But what he did do was plan the retaliation for the beating of his nephew.
Prosecutors say one-time gang leader Dwayne Davis greenlit Shakur's murder and got the gun that was used to shoot him. They claim the 63-year-old was angry that his nephew was roughed up by Shakur and his entourage. The defense argued there's a lack of facts in the case. Davis is charged with murder and has pleaded not guilty. And we'll have more news coming up in a few minutes. First, let's check in once again with Ashley.
Well, it looks like we're in for another beautiful summer day tomorrow, Tony. Let's make sure to have some sunscreen handy. All of those details coming up after this. Stay with us. Coming up on CTV tonight, start your night off with E-Talk, followed by The Big Bang Theory, American Ninja Warrior at 8, and cap the night off with the Quiz with Balls at 10.
Tonight, less than 72 hours until a possible new round of U.S. tariffs.
How close are you to getting a deal?
How close the two sides are to a deal, and the key U.S. figure joining the negotiations. Later on CTV National News, and watch on Crave.
Okay, we are going to check in with Leanne Evans one more time for some developing news we're following this evening. Leanne.
Well, Tony, it seems today is the day we've been starting to talk all about back to school, and buses might be off the road in the Great Bruce region. The Blue Water District School Board says operators are facing increased cost pressures, and despite continued efforts, a resolution has not yet been reached. It means families might have to provide alternate transportation for their children. We'll tell you what one advocacy group is saying about the situation tonight at 11:30. Tony.
Okay, Leanne, thank you so much. And Ash, yes, it's, well, almost 3 weeks until Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
But it is that time where we're starting to think about the temperature changing too.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to admit it, but I saw some leaves that weren't entirely green on some trees on my walk this morning.
It is too early for that.
Well, wait for this. Check out the Wake Up Weather Board, Tony. We've got tomorrow 26 degrees, but look at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I had to use the night symbol
You did have,
because it's no longer daylight by 6 a.m. The sun is
shorter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sun is rising well after 6 a.m. now, but at least by 10 it'll be sunny and 20. But
well, that's
yep,
nice.
It's a sign that times are changing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, getting the moon graphic instead of the sun graphic up for 6 a.m.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Fall isn't that far away.
Unfortunately not.
Well, finally for us, getting your brew in a new way. A pair of entrepreneurs in Centre Wellington are bringing coffee to where the customers are.
CTV's Hannah Schmidt has more on how the mobile business model is filling a gap.
Forget the traditional storefront. For one new Centre Wellington business, the coffee shop is wherever the customers are. After Hours launched its first pop-up in July, serving small batch cold brew, handmade syrups, and baked goods from a mobile bar.
Our mobile business was kind of born because we love to attend community events in the area, and we found that there was a gap with coffee, that there often was not coffee available.
The Fergus-based business is the creation of Samantha Hand and her partner, Jamie Lang. Hand says opening a cafe has been a lifelong dream, combining her love of coffee with a passion for baking she picked up from her grandmother.
I used to be a barista for a big chain, so I have fallen in love with making coffee a long time ago, right out of high school. And it's been a passion of mine to make custom drinks for friends and family. Been experimenting with syrups and foams and stuff over the years.
But instead of committing to a permanent location, the pair built a business that can move one spot to the next.
It's a big advantage that we can bring coffee to where people are. You know, there's nothing better than walking down at the market, coffee right there. and being able to have a treat.
Right now, cold brew is the focus, made with Canadian roasted fair trade beans, with plans to add espresso this fall. And the drinks aren't the only thing made in-house.
We make all of our syrups where possible, except for maple syrup, which obviously comes perfect as it is.
The business is currently popping up at Fresh Box Market in Guelph, where owner Caitlin DeBrusque says giving small businesses space is part of building a local community.
Your customers are going to come see you no matter where you are, and that's like the beauty of a pop-up. Wherever you go, if your customers follow you, that's amazing.
For Hand, the goal now is to keep growing with more pop-ups, private events, and potentially more permanent mobile setup down the road.
Either if it's a trailer or a temporary semi-home kind of thing. For us to be able to go regularly and kind of like build a repertoire. A lot of people are already asking me where they're going to be able to find me regularly.
For now, the hours and the location depend on where the coffee is brewing. Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, Guelph.
Well, Ash, I love when we can profile a local business,
Absolutely.
But even more so when we can talk about coffee. You know how much I love coffee.
Yes, I do know how much you love coffee, Tony, and that golden banana sign sounded pretty amazing. I might even try one of those.
I was wondering if that was a golden banana latte, because that sounds like it would taste incredible.
10 out of 10.
And you do like coffee.
Sometimes.
You like an espresso martini now and again, don't you?
A cheeky one.
That counts as coffee in our books. That's our time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 11:30. Have a good night.